Welcome to the Bargain Bin, a bad video game podcast. My name's PJ Steblin, and joining me on the panel today are...
I'm Andrew Darling.
And I'm Aaron Hillsammer.
Welcome, boys. So you guys ready for this one tonight?
I'm very ready. I'm ready to talk about the adventures of Mighty and his 8 brothers and sisters.
Yes, the other Mighties.
And, that's right. I played a lot of the game, so I know all the deep lore.
All the deep lore, all the canon, everything, all the way up to the anime, the canned anime series that they wanted to have in this nonsense universe. The four kids anime that they put out. Yeah. So tonight we're gonna be talking about Mighty Number 9, the attempted Mega Man reboot, I guess. I don't know. They were trying to fill the void of Mega Man, you know, when Capcom said, no, we're done with Mega Man. So Keiji Inafune, the guy who created Mega Man's dad. Yeah, his Papa Inafune, wanted to bring it back. So real quick, it's supposed to be meant as a return to form for Keiji. And if you're not familiar, it's an action side-scrolling platform. You guys haven't played Mega Man before, right? You're not fans of the series?
That's right.
Yeah, just never. That one just passed me by, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, man, you know we can't all be perfect. So you tour through varying stages. There's 8 stages. Then you have the end game stages, and then I put this in the notes, and I stay true to it. You blast away many uninteresting enemies and bosses on a quest to save the world. Is that accurate for you guys as well?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, I know I didn't do that, but yeah, that's what the game is. Sure.
So it came out in 2016 from developer Concept. And it was generally received poorly. Not even breaking 55 out of 100 on Metacritic. So that's the general industry reception. Let's hear what your guys' thoughts are. Mainly your history with the game. You know, what did you play it on, et cetera, et cetera. So whoever wants to start, I want to hear.
Well, I think we should go by people who, like, in order of time spent playing. I'll go first since I played it for like an hour or two.
Okay.
Which not only because, I mean, I didn't like the game, but also I was in the middle of a big move. A lot of life stuff got in the way, but also I just didn't want to play the game. So after I started it, so that was partially at fault there. Yeah. So, what was the question?
So all right. What did you play it on? What system did you play it on?
Right. So yeah. Thankfully, I apparently had downloaded it like months ago on the PlayStation Plus, like free game of the month thing. So I played on PS4. I guess. I kind of just. There's no way I would have paid money for this. I was pretty aware of the whole like Kickstarter sort of debacle that happened, and so also. The other thing is, I just wasn't interested in a Mega Man-like anyway because I had never played Mega Man in the first place. So it was none of the boxes were ticked for me as far as like, was I going to play this ever? So
yeah, that's fair. Good call. Good intuition. Great intuition. Aaron, what about you, man?
So I played this game on PC with an Xbox 360 controller, which is, I assume, the way it was meant to be played. I think I started playing with a keyboard, and it just was awful. It made no sense. But having the controller helped. I had a similar like vague remembrance of this game because it was a pretty big. I mean, it broke at the time. It broke the Kickstarter record for highest funded video game project.
Right.
I think it made well over $1 million in Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, like $4 million.
And that was in like I think 2013, 2014, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and so I remember that, and then I remember just kind of hearing a couple years later that like, oh, that game came out and it was a piece of shit. And then I never really thought about it again until this cursed podcast made me play it. I probably played it for, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours, more than I would have thought. And I didn't get very far because I found it hard and hard in a way that wasn't fun. But we can get to that when we talk about the gameplay aspects.
Yeah, absolutely. So real quick, so I picked this game So apologies, and to anyone who didn't know about the game and then after hearing this picks it up, don't do that. Don't go pick it up. Don't play it. If you like Mega Man, stick to Mega Man. Mega Man 11's out now. Go buy that game. It's far superior. So I played Mega Man growing up. And I got this game as a PS Plus free title or whatever. I almost kickstarted this game. That's how excited I was for it.
Oh, wow.
And oh man, I'm so glad.
You're almost a victim.
I know, man. I could, yeah. Because I mean, it got to the point where like they put together like these little art books that they were supposed to ship out with the game, and they were supposed to be full color, and they printed them in like sepia, like in some nonsense like color format. And then just kind of shipped them out haphazardly, and we're like, okay, well, here you go. Here's this art book, you know, for
that
all this great art for this game.
The kids do love Instagram filters. Let's just put that shit over our because that's the thing about the game that when the title screen kicked on, I was like, oh, this art is good. This game might look good, and then it plops you into like a gross like 3D nasty like looking shit that just looks bad. Yeah. So that was the first like, oh no. I was like, at first I was like, oh well, at least it'll be cool to look at. Like this is good art, like the cover art and the title screen art. I was like, oh, this is good. And then it's not. Like in my notes I wrote that one of the characters, one of the 3 characters that I got to know in my short run of the game was Dr. Sanda. And I just noted that he looked like Peter Griffin in his little text box. But then in the 3D cutscenes, he looks like the mayor from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Like, that's how jarring the difference is in the art style.
Yeah. Like, they outsourced that art to, like, some totally other developer that had never seen the game before. Wow.
Yeah. This game looks like total trash. The aesthetics style is just cheap and like it just looks like in a lot of ways it looks just like a high school project. I don't know. It just looked like the characters. You know, you mentioned they're uninspiring. They're so boring. They're so dumb looking. Like the level design. You know, the way the levels look is. I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it was, but there was just nothing aesthetically I liked about this game. It just it felt cheap. It felt really like cookie cutter and just awful to look at.
Yeah. Which it's funny because it's so bizarre. They raised $4 million. It took them years to put this game out.
And it was delayed multiple times. They were, just making it perfect, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, to this day, I still don't know what happened to that money. They must have just rented out like a $250,000 a month, studio. And that was where all the money went. And then they hired like 2 guys to just kind of fart out this game, because they had these grand aspirations to port it to like they wanted to put it on a 3DS. And I'm thinking it doesn't even. It barely runs on PS4.
I was actually looking at that right before we recorded. So I think 3DS and Vita were both. They might have been stretch goals, but they were definitely like confirmed during the Kickstarter campaign.
Yes, they were.
And then even as late as June 2017, the developers were saying they were still coming out, and they have not come out. Spoiler alert.
They're not. They're not coming out.
Those are never happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vita, people are still pumping out games for that thing, so it could happen.
It could, yeah. All the Vita fans out there, cross your fingers. Hey, you're gonna get this, man.
They just put out Just Dance for the original Wii, so there's still hope for the Vita.
That's
Come
true.
on, guys.
They are still doing that.
If they can figure out a way to put Just Dance on the Vita, it's golden. that thing's got another like 10 years shelf life.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, man.
So how far into this game did you get, PJ?
I got about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And yeah, man, and that's and I'd really tried. That was a struggle, man. Just getting through because like what I do is when I'm playing a Mega Man that like I've beaten before because the most of like the original games I've all beaten. So when I go back through, I'll Google the boss order, which like each boss has a weakness to another weapon of the boss. You kill a boss, you gain their weapon, and then that gives you a strength to make another boss easy, right? So for this, I didn't even bother wasting my time not doing. So I Googled it. I went to the first level. I don't even remember what his name was. That's how uninteresting and unfun this guy's level was.
Yeah, I believe it was the military-based one.
It was the military-based one. Yeah.
I think Battalion is the name of the stupid name of the stupid boss.
And like there's no direction. There's no like tutorial past. Just scooting through enemies and taking their Zen. What is it? I don't even remember what it's called.
I don't know. I think it's Zendatsu. I think that's what it's called.
Yep. So it all goes back to
they co-opted that famous strategy from Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called I think Zell.
Zell.
Xel.
Yeah,
which is
Zell.
just a dumb made up bad word.
The worst. You know, and I assumed, I was like, oh, cool, that's like a currency or something. Maybe there's an RPG element where I'll be able to buy some shit and upgrade Beck, who's also the most uninteresting protagonist, I think, since Duke Nukem. I don't know. You know, I think I would rather listen to Duke Nukem spout off about Dick, you know, than listen to Beck.
Too.
I'd rather play a video game about the actual Beck, the musician.
Absolutely, man.
A sim where you are controlling Beck and his, you know, you go to the studio, you record some songs.
And then what he does in his off time.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he does in his off time.
Well,
Plugs into a wall.
he's a Scientologist. Just gonna.
Oh,
I'm sure it's actually really fun. His free time is probably pretty exciting.
That's got to be exciting. Yeah, as a celebrity in the Church of Scientology, what a life.
Did not know that.
Shouts
that's
out. I know you're out there, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You're listening. Welcome to the podcast, Tom Cruise, everyone.
Yeah, the Scientologists listen to every single podcast ever in case, you know, someone's saying some good stuff about their good sci-fi book or whatever.
Oh man, I love Dianetics. So anyway,
yeah. So I was a little bit like when they first described that that gameplay mechanic where because how it works is you kill an enemy and then you can immediately dash forward to collect the Zell that it leaves behind.
Right.
And it's a little bit fun, like at first to like make those combos happen where it's like immediately kill and then dash. Like I did like that mechanic, but that's the whole game. And so it's not fun enough to be the only mechanic that the game really has.
Right, and that's what it comes down to, is that it's the only thing. You shoot him, and then you dash through, and it's like, okay, cool, that was all right. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then that's the entire gameplay loop for the rest of the time you're playing. And even when you're fighting the boss, you know, you shoot him, and then that was what took me forever. The first boss, like in the tutorial level, you shoot him down, and then you have to like jet through him, right, to get their Zell or whatever to weaken him. And I'm like, what the hell? His health kept going up, and nowhere do they tell you you need to dash through the boss to eliminate that part of their health, and then start the next phase of the boss fight.
Yeah.
So that was ridiculous in and of itself.
Yep. Oh yeah. And also, I mean, I know that Mega Man is a notoriously difficult game, but I felt like this was just like punishing and not fun. First of all, it has like this really archaic live system where you get 3 lives, and if you die with all 3 lives, you go back to the start of the game, which sucks when after like the second attempt at the stage, you're kind of going through it pretty easily, and then you get to the boss and you just get wasted 3 times.
Yeah, that was my exact experience. Was like you know having to go through the level enough times to completely master it, and then just getting destroyed by the boss immediately. Because
perfect example. The tank boss. He has that. They're like right towards the end of his last phase. He shoots like this shell, and you have to be very quick about jumping over and then dodging it. I don't know how many times I got killed by that. Where it was a cheap death, and it was the difficulty. So like that's the thing is Mega Man. The difficulty in the Mega Man games was the platforming. It wasn't so much the combat as it was trying to traverse well laid out levels. You know, that was the fun of Mega Man is the tight controls, and if you like fall into a pit, it's not necessarily bad level design. It's just that you suck. You know, not that you suck, but it's just like there was something that you could have done better.
No,
you know,
no, that totally makes sense. Like in a video game with like really well balanced difficulty, you're always like, oh, I'm a total piece of shit at this. You're not like, this game is broken and shitty. You know, a good hard video game makes you feel like shit for playing.
Exactly,
it,
man.
Exactly. Not the other way around.
Yeah, and
that's what I meant by saying that it was hard and not a fun way, because like I was dying a lot, and I just felt like it was the game's fault. like just the bad level design, the stupid enemies, like the fact that they don't teach you anything.
Anything of substance.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because there was a setting that I found very early on. Because I like to go through like the settings and make sure because like there was like a vertical sync option on PS4, which I thought was bizarre, but you can up your lives to 9.
Oh, what?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So,
I didn't
fun
know
fact.
That.
I mean,
I did that. That was like I played the tutorial, and then I saved rage quit because it sucked, and then I came back and I went through the settings and I was like, oh, there's a lives option, but it doesn't change. because I wanted to like collect trophies and stuff too, and I know like if you play on normal, you get the easy ones and the normal ones, so you can change the lives all the way up to 9, but it doesn't affect how you gain trophies. So I just flicked it right up to 9. But then I got to that tank level, and it took me like 8 lives to get through the level and beat the boss. So I was like, how even if you're good at this game, like it's still gonna take you more than 3 lives. I don't know, man. So yeah, fun fact when you guys go back to play it.
Yeah, I'll definitely when I go back tonight.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, when you go back tonight.
I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna re-record this because I'm gonna have a very fun time with my 6 extra lives. Yeah.
Can we talk about can we talk about the voice acting and the writing of the dialogue in this game? And how good and really.
No, that's okay.
Moving on.
No, I'm
I
good.
think that's to me it's like low hanging fruit. Like like okay, if they put the minimal effort into how the game looks, they really phoned in the dialogue and the writing, the story. I mean, Mega Man stories in general were pretty cookie cutter. It was like bad man does bad thing to city, good guy goes after bad man. Good guy triumphs, but like this, it's like I don't know, man. It's just nonsense dialogue.
Yeah, because it is that same story, but they add all these like. There's a bunch of extra characters that are always doing voiceover in your ear, and they're just saying the dumbest shit.
Just weird exposition and just like what am I listening to?
Yeah. I remember when you start there's a level where you fight like a helicopter boss, and you have to climb a skyscraper, and it's like. Sorry about having to drop you off at the base of the skyscraper. I almost called him Mega Man.
Don't you do that,
man.
But it's all part of the plan, and then you just the whole level is you just scaling the skyscraper, which apparently, I mean, before they added that text, it sounded like they could have just dropped you off at the boss or something. But because they added that dumbass dialogue that's unnecessary, it's like, wait, so why am I even doing this at all?
Yeah, why am I playing this game?
Exactly.
I mean. I don't need any reason to like move right and shoot robots. I don't need any justification. But you're giving it to me, and also it's bad. Like what? Why? What are you doing?
And every boss, just all they do is say stupid puns related to their ability.
Yeah.
Like because when I didn't know that there was a boss order, I started out at the cryo level. And there's just this really annoying like little girl character who just says like all the throwaway puns from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Ice Guy in the Batman movie, like the ones that were too dumb for him to use.
Frozone.
Yeah, Frozone. Sorry, I always forget that. But yeah, like the ones that were too stupid to show up in that movie, or they used them in this game.
They left him on the cutting room floor. But the writers of this game picked those right up, and they're like, ice scream for vengeance or something. I don't know. I didn't get to that level. I played the dumbass helicopter guy who was like also, he's like a military. Also, first of all, the whole plot of the game is that there's some kind of virus that makes all the robots go bad, but like. All of the robots that you fight are like military grade weapons of destruction, and also they have like sentient personalities. It's like, why did you design them that way in the first place? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the robot that I fought, the only robot I tried to fight was this helicopter guy who was also like a helicopter, like eye in the sky reporter guy, and that was a lot of fun listening to him narrate my adventure.
Oh,
good time.
Absolutely. As you describe those robots, I realized that this podcast is developing a theme where we're just like we're doing a really off the wall like interrogation of our military industrial complex. Like every game that we've played has just been like a dumb as shit like commentary on like war and robots and things.
And AI's use in
It's really subtle. It's in there though.
Yeah. Yep. It's been on purpose.
Fun fact, not that I beat this game or ever would, the credits for this game are 3 hours and 48 minutes long because they chose to include 67,000 Kickstarter backers in the credits.
Well,
so Wikipedia says it's the longest credits of anything ever. I don't know how they verified that, but that's what it says. So
interesting. That's really funny that they give credit to everyone who backed the game, because when you play this game on PS4, they block all of the like intro company credits, I don't forget who the fuck worked on this game, but that scene is blocked from recording on PS4, and I guess the only reason they would do that is oh shit, the game's shipping and it sucks. How do we make sure no one knows we worked on this? Oh, just block the scene on PS4 and
no one will know.
It's the only reason that makes sense, because as soon as the title sequence starts, game recording resume.
Wow,
it's
that's
why
weird.
would I've never seen that to where they block the credits for the game
Yeah.
at the beginning. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense, except for they were super embarrassed and we're we don't want anyone screaming this
No
shit,
one will
so-
know if we just block it at the beginning. Concept was the villain the whole time. That's man. If you go real deep into it, that's who it was, man.
That's the secret
Yeah.
10th boss.
So I'm
I
looking at this.
guess.
This was
There-
built.
eighth,
This was
ninth?
built
I don't know.
on Unreal Engine 3. So they didn't even. When did Unreal Engine 4 come out,
Oh.
man?
I feel definitely before this game started production. I feel that must be
I don't
true.
know
I don't
either,
know, but
yeah, oh
it
my
feels
God.
like.
I'm starting to think this was all just a really genius money laundering scheme through Kickstarter to just they probably spent like $100,000 on this game and then just pocketed the rest of that cash.
I mean,
Oh,
they had to
definitely,
have, man. I mean,
definitely.
it's just glaring. Every scene was just riddled with. Ugh. Because that's the thing, man. I wanted, and Andrew and I were talking a little bit about this. I wanted to like the game. I really did. And every single time I'd start it back up, because I would play it, I would get pissed, and I would put it down and go about my life, and then I'd pick it back up, and it's okay, give it a shot, really try to like it. And there's not one aspect of this game that is redeeming. There's nothing redeeming about this game. It's piss poor design. It looks awful. It sounds terrible. The gameplay loop is disgusting. It's just what were they thinking, man? What were they thinking with this one?
And maybe this can kind of be a segue. All the best segues start with maybe this could be a segue, but maybe this can be a segue into the discussion of to me, the basic actions of this game, the basic verbs that you perform in this game, jumping and shooting, are what a Mega Man game is. So maybe we can spend the rest of the time talking about what did this game fuck up? What is a good Mega Man, and why didn't the Mega Man's dad know what was best for him in this situation? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, PJ?
That that's a good question. And I think what it comes down to, and I kind of touched on this earlier on in the episode, tight controls, solid level design, solid boss design. I mean, they never focused so much on the story as they did it was always expected, when you step into the shoes of Mega Man, you're going to go and shoot guys, and you're going to go and side scroll. That's it. It was never about the story. It was never about any of that nonsense.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik's trying to take over the world.
You got to
so
go fast. You got to go fast. All right?
So what you're
Gotta
saying
go
is
fast.
this game just didn't have enough Chaos Emeralds. That's what it was missing.
They're not enough. Yeah, we needed more Chaos Emeralds, more Sanic. Needed more Sanic. Yeah, man, it's just it missed. And that's the funny thing is this guy is called the father of Mega Man, but I don't really think he understands his creation. I don't really think he understands the heart and the soul of the character, and the
Yeah. This definitely feels like a Phantom Menace more than the Last Jedi.
Exactly, where it's
I guess.
you have the guy who created the characters, right? But then he steps into the role of directing it and taking care of it and trying to flesh it out, and it's you really don't have any idea what you created here,
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, man, that's it. Mega Man. The reason Mega Man games are good and they're fun really comes down to just the control. And just that's it, man. Tight control.
Yeah, strong. Yeah, strong level design, and then also a fun character to move in those levels,
absolutely.
right? They have to, and I always felt in this game, Beck was on a different a small difference in scale. Sometimes I would dash into a platform and just kind of fall off of it because I was just not high enough, just by a little bit. And it didn't make any sense because you built the game around this character's moveset. So why am I always dashing too far or, it just does. I don't know. It just
Well,
didn't
that
make
was the
sense
funny
to me
thing
at
too,
all,
because like
so.
the moving felt haphazard. It's like you're scooting along, and in the spin-off like Mega Man X series, they gave Mega Man X the ability to like scoot up walls. Like he could like grip onto a wall and then like scoot up the side of it, right? So I thought, okay, cool, they're gonna give him some kind of option like that, but it's like no, you just kind of maybe grip on to a ledge, maybe, because there were a lot of times where like I'd try to like jump out, grip onto it, and then I wouldn't, and then I'd fall into those dumbass purple spikes and insta kill, which was another weird thing too, is that there's no iframes, there's no invincibility frames, so like you get hit and then you're still susceptible to more damage. Or if there are iframes, they're very, very quick, because multiple times I would think, okay, Mega Man game, or at least close to Mega Man game, I can get hit, jump into these spikes, use those as like a platform while I'm going through iframes, and then
kind
jump
of
through.
catch your breath.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, not happening. No, you're dead. So, yeah, man, they just missed the mark on every conceivable level, to the point where it's like what happened?
My only touchstone that is somewhat Mega Man related is Shovel Knight, and I know that Shovel Knight's jump is heavily based on Mega Man's, which is to say, like, it's a standard, like, it's pretty much the same jump every time. You know, like, what you're getting into every time you take a jump. You know, like, oh, can I make this? Or, and I never felt like that in this game. It always felt like a 50-50 shot. I'm either going to make this and then fall, and then you lose one of my lives because I'm falling into an open pit, or I'm going to make it, and I don't know. It just never felt like solid, I guess.
Yeah. Just loose. Just Aaron, what do you think, man? Overall,
I think you nailed it. There's really nothing. There's nothing to recommend this game. Like you mentioned, Mega Man 11 is out right now. I was at Target a week or two ago, and they had it, the demo on the Switch that they had in Target, and I played it for a couple minutes, and I had a lot more fun just in like the 2 minutes of that demo than I had ever playing Mighty Number 9. So
6 hours.
So exactly. So I'm glad that this game didn't poison the Mega Man well for me. Like I definitely still want to go and find a good version of this game, but yeah, I can't recommend it in any way for anyone. It's bad. It sucks.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. PJ, what about you? It seemed like you were kind of on the fence the whole time. So did you make up your mind about it?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I could go either way on this one. There's so many pros and cons. Yeah,
4
I don't
out of
know.
5 bargain bins raves PJ Steplin.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I sat there and I tried. I wanted to like this game, but no, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Keiji Inafune shouldn't make a game ever again. I think he's done. He's a hack.
Yeah.
So he had a quote he had a quote that I stumbled across during I think it was during a Twitch live stream of the launch of the game. And this is through a translator, but he said, but again, we can hope that if things go well, there will be sequels. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not getting my 2D side-scrolling fill. And at the end of the day, even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing. At least that's my opinion. And I gotta say, man, that ain't it. I can definitively say this game is not better than nothing.
No, man, and that's hilarious because I put on YouTube. I would like switch between this and like YouTube, and then I would just turn off YouTube and fall asleep. That was a better alternative than spending my hard-earned time. Just taking a nap.
PJ and I both essentially got this game for free, and I still feel like it was a mistake to download it.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't cost me anything, I can just easily
No, it cost you time. Okay, that's important. Okay, it cost you.
That is true.
Cost you. Yeah, it brought you a little bit closer to a demise. All right.
Yeah, and it did that. Certain games will do this to me where I just get really mad playing them. Like just the dying makes me gets me really frustrated and sets off my temper. And I think like good games can do that, but this game did it in a way that was not at all satisfying. I hated it.
Yeah. All right. Overall, I think for recommendations, I had since I played a lot of these games, I would say either play like the Mega Man X series. I think that's a good place to start. Those games are tight. They're phenomenal. You can get the Mega Man X Legacy collections on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and I think they're like $20 each. You can get.
Oh, nice.
I would only get like the first Legacy collection with the X series. In fact, get the first Legacy collection from the X and the original series. The second ones aren't so great, in my opinion. Okay. And then obviously Andrew brought up Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's phenomenal.
Yeah, that definitely would be my push.
Yeah, man. Yacht Games. What is it? Yacht Club Games?
Yacht Club Games.
Yo, so good, man. They nailed it, dude. It's funny that like, and I can't remember how much they raised to kickstart that game, but it's like they get it.
I think it must be less because Mighty Number 9 was huge, and I think that it was even less than. But they are still pumping out like there is still a free update to the game coming out that is essentially a full campaign. They've done three campaign updates so far.
That's amazing.
And they're all fucking phenomenal. Yeah. And they just it feels like what I like about Shovel Knight that Mighty Number 9 does not hit the mark at all on is that they kind of give you like the feeling of a retro game, but without the sort of like limitations that era of games had. Like they don't have a live system. They have this really cool like system where it's a checkpoint system, but also you can wager like, okay, if I break this checkpoint system, I get a few more whatever coins or whatever. And so you're kind of like setting up your own difficulty, whereas like in Mighty Number 9, like we talked about, even if you fucking speed run the level and then you're gonna get your ass spanked by the boss and then have to start all over. So what does it matter? It's so frustrating. Yeah. But yeah, Shovel Knight really nails it for me. I love that game so much. I bought it twice on 3DS. And I bought it again recently on Switch. It's a fucking it's so good.
Okay,
so
good.
Good.
All right,
I agree. I love that game.
Yeah.
And then I would say for mine, it's not really similar. It is a 2D platformer, but that's about the only thing it has in common with Mighty Number 9. But I'm going to mention it because it's the game that I was playing, like that I would quit Mighty Number 9 and then go play instead because it made me happy. And that's Axiom Verge. I've been playing on the Switch. It's basically like a kind of like what Mighty Number 9 wanted to be to Mega Man, this is to Super Metroid, and I just love it. I loved Super Metroid growing up, and this is just a perfect like modernization of that game. I love it. So
good stuff.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Go play those games. Play any other game than this. All right. Play any other game.
PJ, do you recommend Mega Man 11? Have you played it?
I played the demo, and it was pretty fun. I don't know. I would have to buy it to give it a full recommendation, but I thought the demo was fun. So if you're looking for something
go to your nearest Walmart and play the Mega Man 11 kiosk.
Yeah.
Instead of playing Mighty Number 9.
Yeah. That's do anything else. Go pick up your dog shit with a bare hand. That's more fun. All right. So real quick, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
On that note, so we want to hear from you guys. Okay, so Twitter, email us. Let us know if you guys have played this game. The listeners out there, if you guys have played it, tell us what you think.
Especially if you were like ground zero, like you were in the Kickstarter and this was delivered to your doorstep like fucking 3 years late, and I want to know about those stories for sure.
Like what a bad day that must have been. It's like you're waiting years for this, and then you get the sepia tone art book and like a CD. It's like a burned CD with this game on it, like a sticker of back on the front of it. So you can email us at bargainbinshow@gmail.com, and you can also find us on Twitter at bargainbingames. My personal Twitter handle, I'm at StebDude. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm at FartAche. Just spelled like it sounds.
Sammer. I'm at A Hill Sammer, and I just wanted to mention that I believe our next episode is going to be on Cars, the video game for 2006.
Yes. What console? What console are you guys gonna play it on?
I think I might play it on the old Dolphin.
That would be fun. I think I'm going to try to find it for Xbox 360 or maybe even Wii. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if I can con my dad into giving me the old Wii, I'll definitely play it on Wii. Because I played it on Xbox 360, I think. Anyway, yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but yeah.
Still very excited though. Anything but this.
So I do want to
Anything but
ask
this.
one last thing. So I was talking to a friend at a bar, and of course, when you're in a podcast, that's all you talk about. So I mentioned that I had a podcast, and I explained the premise of our podcast to him, and he asked, and this is actually pretty interesting. He asked if we found that video games have like an equivalent appeal to like bad film, like bad movies. And I mean, so far I would say fucking no, but I don't know, because like I think we all liked like Metal Gear Rising, but so did everybody else. I wouldn't really call it a bad game. It's like cheesy and goofy and campy, but it's not bad. I don't know. So I think maybe that's something that we should like think about in the future. Is like That's really
I'm curious to explore that idea, because I think it definitely could be. I think we got maybe kind of close with Duke Nukem Forever, because it was like we all enjoyed elements of that horrible stupid game. Like I think we had more fun with that definitely than we did with this game. So I think that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that next episode. That's really cool, actually.
Okay, cool. I think
I like it.
Let's see. Is that all that I had? I think so.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
That's all I got. Aaron, you got anything else, man?
No, I'm good. I just want to stop thinking about this game.
Yeah, let's move on, because as soon as we're done, like I'm deleting it off of my PlayStation.
That's like there's such a beautiful, like, I don't know if any of you are watching Marie Kondo's show, but there is something so satisfying about destroying a piece of digital media off of your devices after it's hurt you so bad.
Once we stop recording, let's just hold hands across the internet and I'll press delete at the same time.
At the same time.
And maybe you'll join us. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you rate it. Leave us a review. Tell us what you think. If there's things that you want to hear us talk about, let us know. And then again, special thanks to RoccoW for the best part of the show. That theme music, that tasty theme music.
It's so good.
It's delicious. So good. So good. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and goodbye.
Good night.
See you next time.
All 3 different sign-offs. I like it.
It's good.